Stakeholder contributions to SEO and AI-generated content. Implications for organizational reputation. Author, Neil Chinnock, Chief Business Administrator. iTech Introduction. With the arrival of agentic artificial intelligence optimization, AAIO, the management and governance of digital content are undergoing a rapid transformation. This new landscape comes with a tangle of governance, ethical, legal, and social questions that organizations can't simply brush aside. Floridi et al. In 2025. Today, a variety of stakeholders, including content creators, platform managers, AI engineers, and users, directly shape how search engine optimization, SEO, and AI-generated content develop. As AAIO solidifies its place, these groups must confront fresh governance challenges, from setting shared standards and integrating platforms to ensuring strong oversight and, most importantly, maintaining transparency in digital automation. Stakeholder influence on SEO and AI-generated content. Adopting global AI standards, such as those overseen by ISO IEC JTC 1 SC 42, and developing new frameworks are now fundamental for keeping AAIO techniques interoperable and broadly respected. Floridi et al. 2025. Traditional SEO has long been susceptible to manipulation, often called SEO spam, where content is engineered to push rankings rather than serve up quality. The rise of agentic AI automates these tactics, opening the door to an explosion of low-value content created purely for clicks. The real worry is that providers of digital content may start optimizing for machines rather than people. Human stakeholders, content strategists, SEO professionals, and organizational decision-makers remain involved, making strategic calls such as where to allocate resources for advertising or how to shape content to suit best practice. Still, AAIO could push humans to the side, enabling content created by AI, for AI, with minimal human checks. This double exclusion is particularly troubling, as agentic AI, acting as both search engine and recommender, might present a single, seemingly definitive answer, depriving users of the chance to weigh different viewpoints. When these recommendations stem from opaque AAIO processes, users might be manipulated without ever realizing. Floridi et al. 2025. This shift puts tension between optimizing for user autonomy and optimizing for agent utility. Questions of transparency, accountability, trust, and bias are front and center. It is now critical that agentic AI decisions are explainable and open to audit, an ethical and societal necessity to protect user rights and address bias. Ethical frameworks must also address the misuse of agentic AI for manipulation, misinformation, or surveillance, providing clear rules and accountability to protect both individuals and society. From a legal angle, AAIO raises significant questions about intellectual property, IP, and data use. When AI agents access digital content, they can do so in ways that test the boundaries of legal rights, especially where IP-protected material is concerned. Providers optimizing for agents through structured data or APIs must clearly spell out terms of service, as automated scraping is usually forbidden and typically requires an explicit API license. Ducru et al. In 2024. Roles of stakeholders in content creation and management. Human stakeholders in SEO and content governance. Historically, human actors, content strategists, technical SEO specialists, and organizational leaders have been central to digital content. They align content with search engine algorithms, implement technical tweaks, and ensure material meets both user and organizational expectations. Decisions about sponsored content, balancing credibility and reach, and enforcing best practices all fall under their remit. Human involvement is essential for upholding transparency, accountability, and trust, and for counteracting algorithmic bias and manipulation. These stakeholders adapt strategies in response to changing governance and legal requirements, including those around IP and data use, and they define terms of service when content is accessed by automated systems. Floridi et al. 2025. Agentic AI and content automation. Agentic AI marks a significant departure in content management, with major implications for stakeholder roles. These systems, which blur the lines between search engine and recommender, can autonomously generate, curate, and present content with apparent authority. This automation risks marginalizing humans from the optimization process, paving the way for content created for and consumed by AI, not people. Such developments bring ethical concerns to the surface, especially around transparency, accountability, and bias. SEO spam, content designed solely for ranking, can be churned out and scaled up by AI, flooding the ecosystem with low-quality material and manipulating online spaces for traffic. Absent human oversight, users are increasingly exposed to manipulation, misinformation, and even surveillance, as AI-generated answers may not offer the breadth of perspectives needed for informed choice. This reality makes robust ethical frameworks and governance essential to ensure explainability, auditability, and the protection of user rights. Floridi et al., 2025. Governance, legal, and ethical implications. As SEO and AI-generated content evolve, stakeholders must confront new governance, legal, and ethical challenges. Establishing standards for platform interoperability, ensuring effective oversight, and maintaining transparency and autonomous interactions are all critical. International AI standards and new frameworks are necessary to ensure agentic AI practices are widely accepted and interoperable. Floridi et al., 2025. Legally, stakeholders must navigate IP and data use, especially as AI agents access and use online information. Content providers must clarify usage rights and secure API licenses to prevent unauthorized extraction or use. Ethical considerations, such as preventing misinformation, manipulation, and surveillance, require clear guidelines and accountability. These frameworks protect individuals, society, and reputational integrity, ensuring AI-driven content creation does not undermine ethical norms or user trust. Ducru et al., 2024. Mechanisms of input, SEO, and AI-generated content, human and agentic contributions to SEO optimization. The arrival of agentic AI is rapidly changing how stakeholders influence SEO and AI-generated content. Traditionally, SEO relied on human involvement, content strategists and marketers making deliberate, considered choices to boost visibility. This human-in-the-loop model brought intention and ethical judgment, balancing quality, user value, and ranking. Agentic AI upends this model. These systems, combining search and recommendation, can autonomously generate and present content with confidence. This automation threatens to edge humans out, resulting in AI-generated content tailored for other AIs, with little human oversight. This double exclusion deepens ethical risks, as the ecosystem becomes less transparent and more detached from human values. Automated SEO spam, content created just to attract clicks, can be massively scaled, further polluting digital spaces. Floridi et al., 2025. Risks of automation. SEO spam and manipulation. Agentic AI-driven automation exacerbates existing vulnerabilities. One key risk is the spread of SEO spam, where content is engineered purely for rank, not for value. Automated content mills, systems that pump out vast amounts of low-quality material, are a direct result. As agentic AI systems start optimizing for each other, content risks being shaped for algorithms, not people. This creates a feedback loop. Content is optimized for autonomous agents, not users, undermining autonomy and diversity of thought. Whereas traditional search offers a range of results, agentic AI may provide a single, seemingly authoritative answer, limiting users' critical engagement and raising the specter of manipulation. If such recommendations are built on opaque or ethically questionable optimization, users may be unwittingly exposed to misinformation, bias, or surveillance. The lack of transparency and explainability strengthens these risks, underlining the need for ethical frameworks that prioritize openness, accountability, and trust. Floridi et al., 2025. Legal and governance mechanisms. The shift to agentic AI in content creation brings complex legal and governance challenges. There's an urgent need for standards that guarantee interoperability, transparency, and oversight of automated digital exchanges. International standards, such as those from ISO IEC JTC 1SC42, lay the groundwork. But the pace of technological change means new standards and oversight mechanisms may be needed. Floridi et al., 2025. Legally, using AI agents to access and use website information brings up IP and data regulation concerns. Content creators may optimize for agentic AI via structured data or APIs, but must define clear usage rights and secure licensing. Automated scraping is often restricted and needs explicit licensing to comply with IP and data protection law. These legal tools are essential for protecting content creators and maintaining the integrity of digital ecosystems as content generation becomes more autonomous and opaque. Ducreux et al., 2024. Risks of harmful content to organizational reputation. Automation of SEO spam and content quality degradation. The growing use of agentic AI in digital content raises the stakes, especially when it comes to the automation of SEO spam and the spread of poor quality content. Traditional SEO was already vulnerable to such tactics, but agentic AI amplifies the problem, pushing out content designed for clicks rather than substance. This threatens not just the quality of online information but also organizational reputation. Organizations associated with low quality or manipulative content risk being viewed as sacrificing integrity and trust for visibility. The danger is greater when agentic AI works with little human oversight, removing safeguards against misleading or harmful content. Floridi et al., 2025. Erosion of transparency, accountability, and trust. Agentic AI, acting as both search engine and recommender, presents new ethical and reputational challenges by curating information with a sense of authority. Where traditional search provides multiple results, agentic AI may offer just one, seemingly definitive answer. If this is done via processes that are hard to audit, users are exposed to manipulation and misinformation without knowing it. This lack of transparency undermines user autonomy and trust. For organizations, the reputational risks are severe. Being linked to non-transparent or biased AI-generated content can destroy public confidence and invite regulator scrutiny. Prioritizing transparency, explainability, and accountability is therefore an ethical and reputational must. Floridi et al., 2025. Legal and ethical implications of content use. Using agentic AI for content creation and optimization poses serious legal and ethical dilemmas, especially around IP and data use. AI agents that access website information may violate IP rights, particularly if content is reused without permission. Organizations failing to secure clear terms of service or API licenses risk legal disputes and reputational damage. Moreover, using agentic AI for misinformation, manipulation, or surveillance only increases these risks. Perceptions of complicity or indifference can cause lasting reputational harm, highlighting the need for transparent policies, legal compliance, and accountability measures. Ducreux et al., 2024. Ethical and legal considerations in stakeholder content. Input governance, transparency, and accountability in stakeholder contributions. Integrating stakeholder input into SEO and AI-generated content brings a tangle of governance challenges, especially as agentic AI systems, AAIO, become more sophisticated and take on a greater role in shaping online information. Floridi et al., 2025. Even before AAIO, traditional SEO was already wrestling with ethical dilemmas. Think of SEO spam, where content is produced just to climb search rankings rather than genuinely help or inform users. This has chipped away at the quality of information online and eroded trust in digital platforms. Now, with AAIO automating the spread of low-value clickbait content, human oversight is being pushed further from the content generation process. The risk grows when AAIO acts as both search engine and recommender, presenting information with a sense of unchallenged authority. Unlike older search engines that handed users a variety of results to consider, agentic AI may serve up just a single, seemingly definitive answer, raising the stakes for manipulation and further limiting user autonomy. Floridi et al., 2025. This landscape makes it vital to develop robust governance frameworks that prioritize transparency, accountability, and explainability in AI-driven content systems. All stakeholders, creators, platform operators, and end users should have the tools to audit and understand how these systems make decisions. This way, user rights are protected and algorithmic bias is properly monitored. Alignment with international standards such as ISO IEC JTC 1SC42, alongside new frameworks for interoperability, is a crucial step towards building accepted ethical practices in stakeholder content input. Floridi et al., 2025. Risks of manipulation, misinformation, and user autonomy. Automation of content optimization for AI agents brings significant ethical concerns, particularly around manipulation, misinformation, and the slow erosion of user autonomy. When stakeholders start shaping content primarily for AAIO, rather than for people, the information ecosystem risks serving machines' objectives over human needs and rights. Ducreux et al., 2024. This double exclusion, where both content creation and curation are managed by AI with little human touch, creates fertile ground for unchecked misinformation and potential exploitation via opaque recommendation systems. Ethical frameworks must go beyond technical fixes for optimization and tackle the wider societal impacts, including surveillance and manipulation of public opinion. There is a real need for clear guidelines and accountability mechanisms that protect individuals and society at large. Explainability, auditability, and oversight are not just technical goals, but moral necessities, especially as agentic AI increasingly shapes what information users access and how they interpret it. Floridi et al., 2025. Legal implications. Intellectual property and data use. From a legal perspective, stakeholder contributions to SEO and AI-generated content raise pressing issues about intellectual property, IP rights, and data regulation. As AI systems access and process web content, there is a genuine risk that the rights of content owners could be breached. Ducreux et al., 2024. While some content providers may deliberately optimize for agentic AI, using structured data feeds or APIs, what matters most is that usage rights are clearly spelled out and respected. Automated scraping, for instance, is often forbidden by website terms and typically requires explicit licensing. The legal landscape is made trickier by how quickly AAIO technology evolves, often outpacing current regulation. To keep legal risks in check, organizations must be proactive, establishing and communicating clear terms of service for how their content may be used by AI agents, specifying allowable uses, securing licenses, and ensuring compliance with all relevant IP and data protection laws. As the line between human and AI-driven content blurs, ongoing legal vigilance and adaptability are critical for protecting the rights of all involved. Ducreux et al., 2024. Best practices for managing stakeholder contributions, fostering public-private collaboration, and inclusive governance. Managing stakeholder input in SEO and AI-generated content requires meaningful collaboration across a varied ecosystem. The synthetic media environment is shaped by technology developers, content creators, distributors, and civil society, each offering unique perspectives and expertise. Leibowitz and Cardona, 2024. No single group can drive system-wide change alone. Public-private partnerships are essential, ensuring governance frameworks are not just technically sound, but also socially responsible. Civil society, even when not directly producing synthetic media, plays a vital role in steering AI governance. By championing transparency, accountability, and digital rights, these groups help ensure ethical concerns and social impacts are front and center in industry decisions. Their participation rounds out the technical focus of industry and is vital for policies that match technological progress with public interest, reinforcing organizational reputation by meeting public expectations. Leibowitz and Cardona, 2024. Prioritizing transparency, consent, and disclosure. Transparency, consent, and disclosure sit at the heart of responsible stakeholder contribution management in AI-generated content. Leading organizations, including Adobe and OpenAI, have built transparency and disclosure into their generative AI models, ensuring users know when they are engaging with synthetic content. Adobe's Firefly and OpenAI's DALL-E, for example, have clear disclosure practices that foster trust and reduce reputation risks tied to undisclosed synthetic content. Leibowitz and Cardona, 2024. Consent is especially important in sensitive cases, such as DID's digital resurrection of domestic violence victims, where explicit permission is sought before content creation. These practices protect individual rights and demonstrate a commitment to ethics, boosting organizational credibility. Distinguishing between harmful and creative uses, like the BBC's use of face swapping for anonymization versus the CBC's decision not to use AI for concealing sources, shows the importance of context-aware decisions. By prioritizing transparency, consent, and disclosure, organizations can handle AI-generated content more wisely, protecting stakeholder trust and reputation. Leibowitz and Cardona, 2024. Implementing content moderation and misuse prevention. Strong content moderation and misuse prevention are crucial for managing stakeholder input and safeguarding reputation. Companies such as Synthesia and Respeecher have strengthened moderation to prevent harmful uses of their technologies, such as deceptive or malicious synthetic content. TikTok's adoption of AI labeling policies is a further example of proactively curbing misleading content and promoting responsible generation. Kanjula et al., 2025. Such initiatives are a response to the reality that, even with good intentions, generative AI demands constant vigilance and transparency. As the human rights group Witness points out, strong moderation systems and clear labeling are vital for managing risks, addressing stakeholder concerns, and supporting reputational strength in the digital domain. Kanjula et al., 2025. Conclusion. This analysis has mapped out how stakeholders influence SEO and AI-generated content, focusing on the interplay between human skills and agentic AI in content creation and governance. It makes clear that evolving stakeholder roles bring both opportunity and risk, such as increased SEO spam, content mills, and manipulation, that threaten content quality and user trust. The review highlights the need for comprehensive legal and governance frameworks to meet the ethical and reputational challenges of automated content creation. Case studies show how failures in attribution, compensation, and oversight can trigger reputational harm affecting stakeholders differently. Detection and mitigation strategies, including lightweight zero-shot detection and calibration of multimodal activations, offer promising tools to counter harmful content. Kanjula et al., 2025. Ethical and legal considerations, transparency, accountability, IP, and data use are central. Best practice points to public-private collaboration, inclusive governance, transparency, consent, and robust content moderation as ways to protect both reputation and user autonomy. These insights support a holistic approach to managing stakeholder input in SEO and AI-generated content, and underscore the need for ongoing adaptation in governance and oversight. References: Floridi, L. Buttaboni, C. Hine, E. Morley, J. Novelli, C. and Schroeder, T. 2025. Agentic AI Optimization, AAIO. What it is, how it works, why it matters, and how to deal with it. RXIV, preprint, RXIV, 22504.12482. Available at https://archive.org/abs-2504 112482. Accessed 26 January 2026. Ducru, P. Raymond, J. Lemos, R. Garner, C. He, G. Balcha, H. Suto, G. et al. 2024. AI Royalties, an IP framework to compensate artists and AMP. IP holders for AI-generated content. RXIV preprint. RXIV 2406.11857. Available at https://rxiv.org/abs 2406 11857. Accessed 26th January 2026. Kanjula, K.R. Guthakonda, S. Alam, N. and Islam, S.B. 2025. Understanding and mitigating toxicity in image text. Pre-training. Datasets. A case study on LLAVA. RXIV preprint. RXIV 2505.06356. Available at https://rxiv.org abs/2505 06356. Accessed 26 January 2026. Leibowich, C.R. and Cardona, C.H. 2024. From Principles to Practices, Lessons Learned from Applying Partnership on AI's PAI Synthetic Media Framework to 11 Use Cases. ARXIV preprint. RXIV via 2407-13025. Available at https://rxiv.org IABS 2407-13025. Accessed 26 January 2026. Thanks for watching.